Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Metal Slug. We're not playing this on a Neo Geo because I don't have $600 to spare.
So some would say it's kind of overdue that we finally get to an SNK game on this channel. It's weird though because I hear everyone on the internet talking with so much nostalgia for SNK stuff in general, not just Metal Slug, which even I was aware of as a kid, but I never saw anything Neo Geo related until fucking Sonic Pocket Adventure.
I had a Neo Geo Pocket Color.
Also, for the
You needed to go more corner stores because every corner store I had in my old neighborhood had a Neo Geo arcade machine. Oddly.
okay, so I should mention I put in 20 credits because I'm playing the Switch version. They give me unlimited credits, and I'm not good enough at this game to be able to get through without dying a lot. So I don't care. Also, I hate those little extra nubs at the bottom of the screen that are sticking out, but that's what widescreen mode in this version of the game has. So whatever, it's
Okay, the timing of that death made it sound like you were killed by boxer shorts.
Oh, dude, when was the last time you watched these?
Anyway, yeah.
Good old SNK arcade sprite work. Damn great stuff.
This game came
Metal
out in like
Slug.
'97, so at the time people were all like 3D graphics, and we're like, hey guys, look at how fancy our
Yeah.
sprites are.
Yeah, Metal Slug was kind of an odd duck in that it was released on the PlayStation 1, which was an accomplishment in itself, because I think Sony was being obstinate about 2D graphics in America at one point.
So much so that Capcom literally had to fight back about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were a couple of games I think that never got released over here because of that, which are a genuine loss to Western gaming culture even today. But in any case, Metal Slug, I think, is one of the examples of a really good argument for sprite-based design, even in an era where 3D graphics were all the rage. So
Yeah, because nowadays you'd see something similar with environments or vehicles done in a 3D modeling, but blended in with the environment a little well to the best of their ability. This game, everything's a sprite.
The detail is stupid. It's I mean, I'm not saying that the details are bad. No, the details are so good that it's stupid.
Yeah, it's a 90s game, so gotta remember bad is good.
Bad is good. Yes, exactly. There's a
you
chicken
a bad
walking in
enough
the
dude?
water. Why? Of
course,
Who cares?
Are you a bad enough dude to rescue the president?
Of course, the other thing about SNK games is that they're generally made with arcade hardware in mind, which was always, well, up until a certain point, was always better than console design. Was always better than console machines. And that progressed right up through the PlayStation era. I remember one of the things that the PlayStation CD-ROM technology still kind of lagged on, and the King of Fighter games in particular are bad with this, is load times.
Yeah, the Switch version, I believe, is a port of the console, not the console, of the arcade version. So
Yes,
there's
it
no
is.
load times. The game plays pretty fast. There's still slowdown. All three games have slowdown.
That's just a problem with the games in general, not so much the arcade.
If you're planning on getting into Metal Slug, get X, not 2, because 2 and X are the same game, except 2 runs like garbage and X runs slightly less garbage.
That's not entirely accurate, actually. 2 was also a whole lot less fair in terms of game design.
Oh, well,
than the-
all 3 games are
X
unfair.
X is less fair. X is less fair than 2 in terms of game design. They made the game design worse between the two versions, and I have no fucking idea why.
Well, X is still my favorite. X is my favorite of the 3 that I've played. I played 1, 3, and
yeah, I
X.
know. It's just the way the game's enemies and stuff were laid out in Metal Slug X was deliberately more coin guzzler happy, which
Arcade machine.
basically describes the series anyway, but it was worse.
I love these games, but they are not fair. And if you're trying to get... Here's the thing. The game, if you want a high score, you need to play through each stage without dying. And I can do that with... in Metal Slug X, I can get through stages 1 and 2 without dying. But I cannot get past stage 3. And most of the time I die in stage 2 anyway, but I have beaten it without dying. So most of the time I just put in as many virtual quarters as I can and just say, I don't care if I die, I just want to blow up stuff. That's...
Yeah, playing it on consoles is weird because you can just infinitely put in virtual quarters, and because of that, you can cheese it. You can die as many times as you want and respawn exactly where you died and continue. Just beat your head against the brick wall until it falls down. But
Shoot it till it dies.
but
At that point, it is just a prettier Contra.
yeah, but playing the game as it was meant to be played originally involves death being a real showstopper, you know?
You have to memorize levels 1 and 2 before you even have a chance of beating 3, unless you want to put $20 into the machine, basically.
Yeah, they were those arcade machines that were deliberately advertised as taking your customers' quarters. And I'm not kidding. Advertisements that were aimed at the stores that were supposed to have these things in them would say stuff like that. One of the Dungeons and Dragons arcade games in the bonus features actually comes with one of the old advertisements that basically says exactly that. So I was like, wow.
This game will piss off your customers.
So, yeah, like, because one of the things, I know why they do it, but every time you die, you lose your weapon power-ups. So if you die to a boss early and you can't beat it with the shotgun, then good luck trying to beat it with the dinky infinite ammo pistol that you start off with every time.
Yeah.
But if you get a game over and put more coins into the machine, you get the heavy machine gun back and a restock on grenades.
bombs.
So
Now,
Yeah, by the way, don't stick your face too close to the TV when you got the shotgun, because that white flash is obnoxious.
now, if I remember correctly, there was actually a Metal Slug sequel that was done in 3D.
yeah, I think it was
I believe
only in
there was.
Japan and really bad, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah. It was like 3D PS2 quality models, early PS2 quality models, in this exact art style, with the big heads and stuff. And it looks pretty slow-paced compared to the 2D games.
Unfortunately,
Like-
that happens to a lot of series when they jump to 3D. Is that the gameplay slows down. That's
Yeah, the sudden need for a semi-realistic open environment in terms of land area bogs down the pace pretty badly in a lot of games.
damn it.
Barely top.
Tried to
door.
slip through, didn't quite make it.
Oh, just in case somebody's curious, level 4 does not mean I'm on level 4. That's the difficulty level. 4 is like normal mode. You can bring it down to 1 or up to 7. But I believe it just changes like the amount of enemies and how much damage they take before they die and stuff like that. So since 4 is
Yeah.
the standard difficulty, I play on that pretty much.
I think this is the eponymous Metal Slug.
Yeah,
Yes, it
but
is.
it's actually not that. This is the game that has it the most because you barely find them in 2 and 3. Although there are different types of slugs in 2 and 3, but you don't really. You can go entire levels without even getting in one because they're all secrets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Frickin' ride armors.
Aiming them's weird too because the cannon always points in the direction you're moving. So you can't shoot forward and move back at the same time. So that makes trying to beat bosses with them tricky at certain points. But it also
Yeah.
basically gives you a life bar because the slug can take 3 hits before dying. So, it's a give and take. And
It's also a tank that can jump.
yeah, it's the
I don't know. The Blaster Master Cannon can do that too.
yeah, but
True.
okay, you know what? I was gonna make fun of Blaster Master, but that game has a highly successful sequel out right now, and Metal Slug hasn't had a game in like 8 years. So
SNK hasn't been doing a whole lot, have they?
no, they're
Well,
making
they made a King of
fan
Fighters game last
service fighting games right now.
Yeah, there's a King of Fighters last year, then there's that girl-only King of Fighters coming out
Yeah, I mean,
this year.
yeah, there's King of Fighters, but that's basically their only franchise that's active, as far as I know.
Basically, yeah.
And the only,
And
and
King
the
of
only
Fighters is, I think, on its own, a crossover series. So,
and the only King of Fighters I've played any level of is King of Fighters for the Neo Geo Pocket Color.
King of Fighters is a good series.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's just
still-
notoriously
I still-
difficult.
I still pop in 98, 99.
I just
I think, like,
ugh.
I got 14 recently, but I think 13 is the one I was most impressed by because they went, like, full HD sprite work with it.
So is 13 the 13th King of Fighters, or is it just out in the year 2013, or both?
It's the 13th. I'm pretty sure they stopped using years as their titles a while ago.
Okay. Yeah. So
King of Fighters 2K13.
SNK fighters scare me because I've seen the move list and damn, So
they're on the advanced end of technical as far as 2D fighters go.
Which is a shame because the characters all look really interesting and compelling, which is what's really important to me in a fighting game. But
you like my Shira Nue, don't you?
Is that the lady with the boobs and the red dress?
Yes.
Actually, not really her.
She's actually in Dead or Alive 5 as well as a guest character.
Of course she is.
It's weird because Dead or Alive 5 has like guest characters from Virtua Fighter and one or two from the King of Fighters for cross promotion purposes. They're like some of the most
cross promotion for what? Sega hasn't made a virtual cross promotion for what? Sega hasn't made a Virtua Fighter in how long?
No. There was a Virtua Fighter game that came out around at the time that the original Dead or Alive 5 was released. So because Dead or Alive 5 was originally a PS3 360 game. Last Round is just the final iteration of it.
Okay.
The Ultra Dead or Alive 5, if you will.
Hyper Turbo DX of EX
so,
edition.
Jackie and Pi being in the game when it first came out made sense because Virtua Fighter was doing a thing, and the underappreciated fighting games Dead or Alive and Virtua Fighter, I guess, decided to team up in solidarity against Street Fighter and Tekken. So
I hate this guy. Oh my god. Him and his see you in hell. Come on, boy.
Yeah.
Your mincemeat. I hate this guy.
So anyway, when I got my Nintendo Switch, one of the first things I did was load it up with SNK games because they had like almost all of the library already up at that point. Yeah. They're still missing some of the games that are available on PS4, I think, but there were a lot of SNK games, so I got all the Metal Slug games. I also got Shock Troopers, which is basically top-down Metal Slug.
Have you guys ever played In the Hunt?
No, I have. I've never even heard of that one.
Same developers as Metal Slug. It's basically a 2D side-scrolling shooter, akin to like Gradius and all that sort of thing. Beautiful. Like it uses the same sort of sprite quality, and it is a fantastic-looking 2D shooter. Yeah.
But I was thinking when I was downloading all these games at the time that I think I know why they were so keen on getting the SNK games onto the Switch. Because one of the most common things that I see with SNK fans is them getting SNK emulators onto portable devices like the PSP and stuff. Because the actual portable emulation devices SNK releases or licenses are pieces of shit. But they really want their portable SNK games. It's apparently a really big thing among SNK fans.
This runs pretty well, I should say. Like, there's slowdown, but there was slowdown on the arcade, too. So, and in some cases, it's helpful in games like these to have slowdown, because it gives you more time to react to stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason that the slowdown remains in effect is because they're using an arcade emulator for all this stuff.
Yeah, because
that's especially obvious with the Switch versions because, like, there's no virtual console yet.
Yeah.
But, like, the company that does these arcade ports is still porting games like crazy to the Switch because they have their own arcade emulator already made for it.
Yeah. So you see, this is being commentated on before Nintendo discusses anything about its online service, which is supposed to have some sort of Nintendo classic game emulation, but we don't know if that's a virtual console yet. I don't think that we get a standard virtual console where you can like buy Super Mario Brothers 3 for $5.
No, I think what's going to happen is a lot of the kind of the rumored Netflix style one where as long as you pay the subscription, you kind of have an a la carte whatever up.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be bad.
System.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
But I say that because Nintendo's actually had Neo Geo games on the Virtual Console since the Wii and the Wii U too, and also they have the arcade version of Super Mario Brothers up on the Wii Shop now. So if they're having the arcade version of that up, that's probably because the NES version is not going to be up for sale on it. Is my reasoning behind
if they put up the All Stars version, I'll praise them forever because I need the All Stars version legally. Thank you.
The Wii version, actually, the Wii collection is actually surprisingly cheap. If you try to find the disc. I mean, granted though, I agree with you because especially since the Switch is supposed to be portable, having a portable version of Mario All-Stars plus World would be fantastic. But we'll just have to wait and see.
One that isn't limited by the Game Boy Advance's sound quality.
Yahoo!
Hey man, Super Mario Advance on Game Boy Advance has a Mecha Birdo boss fight. That wasn't in All Stars.
It's also just the best version of the game.
That wasn't in
Well,
All Stars,
though.
all right. Jesus Christ, that game really did not like that like that move.
I love the detail on the sprite work here.
I know, but it's because each of the shells coming out of that cannon is its own sprite. It causes the game to slow down every time the tank does that attack.
Yeah, just look at it as a momentary break.
The animation quality is so damn smooth too.
But also probably the reason why we don't get many of these games.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
oddly enough, here's the thing, John. They have been reusing the Metal Slug 1 sprites all the way up through Metal Slug 7. Like, it's the same sprites for Marco, Tarma, the guys with their underwear, all that stuff. They've been reusing these
and the
sprites for
additional
20
characters-
years.
The additional characters that were introduced in Metal Slug 2, they've been reusing those sprites since Metal Slug 2. So,
Which goes to show how timeless they are, but also, like, I would, well, you know what, I'll save this for the next part. Because,
Next part.
Yeah.
yeah.